Jeez. What a freaking disaster. Okay, whatever. Some hot skirm on skirm action over there to the west. Got towers. Rocket carts are rocket carting, and it's fire lancering time for Viper. Yep, nice archers there for Barrels. Viper's still picking up a few relics, though. The lovely Korean castle here. Still, a Korean mirror on this map could be extremely slow. You got war wagons on the way for Barrels. You hate what you see? Do you hate me that much, Genbo? Anyway, look at Viper's macro here. He has handcard in, he's on his way up to Imp, and has been able to apply some nice pressure. On the camera, I actually started casting and realized I never even started the stream. Like, I was literally talking to myself. And then I got a war wagon out over here, and it does snipe the monk, but there is another one coming in. Looks like it's gonna be Skirm City, USA. Hello, Jam Vanderloof. In Skirm play? Yeah, I think so. And Koreans don't mind skipping out on Dark Age because they have no real Dark Age bonus. So that does make them a little bit better at Empire Wars. But I don't know why they're, like, this popular. I mean, especially now that you can't even do the Siege Tower shenanigans. The Siege Tower chicanery. Gambison's coming in, and yeah, Viper's just going for Fire Lancers. Every game? Well, that's the ladder qualifier for you. I mean, I think that the ladder qualifier would be more fun if there were, like, Civ bans or, like, a forced random. Because this isn't even really testing how good you'd be in these settings, right? If you only have to learn, like, one map or matchup, especially if everybody's facing if people are favoriting, like, the same map over and over, then you're just gonna get, well, the same exact matchups over and over. Barrels did bleed through over here to the west. Viper picked up 4 relics, though, and appears to be in complete control still. You have Elite Fire Lancer coming in. Viper does not actually have the Elite upgrade in just yet. That'd be pretty wild. It'd be wild and wedonkulous. Still, the Fire Lancer production is still in its fledgling stage, and again, despite being ahead in TCs, Barrels has so much more idle TC time than Viper, who's just been doing this 3 TC boom so effectively. He's only cut villager production really right now. And that is a fair few rocket carts. And by that I mean 2. Viper still doesn't have Elite Fire Lancer. What an active ladder could be, it's just... I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't blame people for doing, going try-hard in such a situation, right? It's... Like, as a tournament organizer and admin, really, it's basically a battle of forcing all the pro players out of their comfort zone, because if pro players get to do what they want and play on the settings they want, it looks exactly like this. So, really, the task of a tournament organizer is designing settings and rules that give strategic and compelling experiences that are still, fair. Right. Try and get variety in there. Dipsong and Ballistics coming in. I mean, but again, those are Elite Fire Lancers, and they have 20 more HP than the Castle Age versions, and 1 more melee armor, and 1 more attack, but honestly, the HP buff is the huge one. Oh, look at this patrol stacking. I freaking love it. Late Fire Lancer coming in for Viper, but it's already in for Barls, but that really doesn't matter when Viper literally has 4 towers and a castle shooting at them. Yeah, that's a big difference maker. Barl's trying to expand over to the sides, but I mean, those have not been pretty fights for him. Also, wouldn't you want to go hand cannoneers? Commercially interesting, yeah. Exactly. Players will always optimize the fun out of a game. But even... Like, again, I personally don't believe that the best way, or the best way to showcase the skill of an AoE 2 player is by having them slam the same Civ matchup and map over and over again. That's really just a test of mechanics and decision making. But being able to adapt to a map and Civ matchup and player matchup, those are all the, those are, I think, the interesting ways of showing AoE 2 skill level, on top of, obviously, the mechanical and decision-making skills that are sort of the bread and butter of AoE 2. Like, it's why you can't say the best Hun War player is the best overall AoE 2 player, you know? Anyway, this is horrible. For Barls. Well, not for Viper. I mean, that's awesome for Viper. We've got just a freaking shooting gallery over here. Castle is going to come in, but, like, Barls has no advantage in this game at the moment. He's going for a bit of a counterattack here, and there are some units. And again, why are they not making hand cannoneers? That is not what I understand. Typical draft system? Oh, I do too. I just think that it's not very compelling to have to watch mirrors over and over again on the same exact maps. Like, the sadist in me would want forced no picks or bans. You can't favorite or ban any maps, and it's forced random every game. Siege engineers coming in. I mean, the map just has so much stone, right? Koreans are gonna love that. two Koreans here? I don't know. The prevailing thought just seems to be that Fire Lancers are busted. For ladder? Oh, I'm sure they could figure it out if they really wanted to. Oh, I love patrol stacking. It's so fun, guys. Oh, man, it makes me so happy. Jeez. I mean, Viper was winning by a huge amount anyway, but... Oh my god. Yeah, cheaper than archers is a little wild for Koreans. And I actually talk about this in State of the Civs, which is, by the way, coming back up tomorrow. And I talk about this in the Korean section, that Koreans are super popular these days, and that feels like it's more the strength of the Fire Lancer than anything else with the Civ, because before Fire Lancers were added, I think Koreans were in a really good spot. And now they just sort of need to work in the Fire Lancer as a, you know, fun and balanced unit. What to stay the Civ? It's the series I do. The thing I'm spending, like, most of my time on for YouTube. Doing it for 6 years now. Alright. Oh, Viper and Hera. Oh. My magnum opus? I don't know about that. The thing is, I still think they're pretty crappy videos. It took me 6 years to become a pro caster. I don't know about that. I was a pro caster day one when I was casting MBL doing Geppetto Siege Tower stuff on Voobly. I remember that was literally one of the first things I ever cast was MBL doing Geppetto Siege Tower. Alright, guys. Hera's going to be in the red as the Ethiopians, to the west of Acclivity, and to the east in the blue as the Goths. It will be Viper. Now remember, Ethiopians do start with an extra 100 food and gold. DBA on the way here for Hera. But yeah, like I said, Goths are probably one of, if not the worst Empire Wars Civ. And beat him in game 30, yeah. I've been streaming for 8 years. The State of the Civ series in particular, I started 6 years ago. I started streaming in January of 2018, so yeah. In RedBull? Well, it's not even in the tournament, it's just because the other, the other maps were bugged. Yeah, exactly. Like, I started casting well before the DE era. Streaming for 8 years? I mean, you know, it depends. Yeah, Hera lost to ACCM, which losing a best of one game to ACCM for Hera is not really all that exciting, but it was the fact that, I don't know, I think Hera was like, oh, ACCM's just avoiding me. But then, like, he ran into ACCM, and then ACCM just beat him. Anyway, that is a very quick 2 kills, and, you know, that's the thing, right? Sometimes, and very oftentimes, Civ matchups don't matter anywhere near as much as just being in the right place at the right time, having good micro, and all that good stuff. That said, Hera is 200 resources ahead, and I don't know if that includes the 200 he gets for free. Viper does lose those units right there, so after a very nice start, Viper can be losing 2 villagers of his own. Possibly more. Definitely more. Oh yeah, we have fletching and +1 defense then. As the Bulgarians? That sounds about right. Dash. A. Dash. Stay. The nurse is here for my dad. Oh, Dash. Dash. I refuse to be barked at. Somehow deal with Showtells. Goth champions, I think, should still be efficient versus Showtells. Oh, that's 5 villager kills for Hera. This is the over. Well, Hera is 4 villagers ahead right now. Look at this farm count, man. How does he do it? He's got literally over double the farms of Viper right now. Meanwhile, Hera on his 2 ranges at the moment. Viper just with some skirmishers, but they don't even have that +1 defense, which is still very important because it makes the archers deal only 1 damage as opposed to 2. Forging coming in now for Hera as well for his scouts. And overall, the KD is very even, but of course, Hera just getting those villager kills. I mean, just look at the eco difference already, guys. And this is basically from... Look, literally the 1 minute mark, Hera had a huge eco lead. Anyway, now this just seems to be getting it completely out of control. Hello, Youngjun. What's up? Casting Viper slipping on a banana peel after a great, like, minute 1 to being unfortunate at everything else. Wheelbarrow even coming in for Hera. I mean, just look, it's 19 farms. 11. I don't even know how he has so many bills on food so early. Res collected. It's his superpower, man. More than anything else. Like I say, Hera is good at everything, but what really sets him over the top is his early game eco management. Now, both players are on their way up, but Hera's literally 1,000 resources ahead. Also, again, he's got a way better civ here. Ethiopians aren't even a top-tier Empire War civ, but they are at least solid. Again, Ethiopians are a civ that are happy to skip the Dark Age, as they have no Dark Age bonuses. Speedy Gonzalez TC, yeah. But Hera was saying, I mean, I thought ACCM was beating up on plebs, relatively speaking to his skill level. But honestly, I looked at his match history and, I mean, it was a lot of like MBL and Yo. Yeah, guys, I have no idea what Viper's doing this game. Like, Viper's gonna be in like the worst situation in the current meta, which is where you're behind economically and making skirmishers. If you're behind and making skirmishers, behind economically and making skirmishers, it feels like there are very few routes to victory, as the skirmishers just don't really get you out on the map. They really slow down your boom. And this is just so rough, guys. Like, Hera is just getting to... Like, making just archers and a couple knights is a luxury. getting Bod Crosaw is a luxury, and +2 defense. And it's just like, there is no downside to what Hera's having to do right now, as Viper isn't really forcing Hera out of his comfort zone whatsoever, because he's just defending with skirmishers on a worse economy. Oh, that's a knight. To not be trying? I don't think he's not trying. I think he's just got outplayed. I mean, quick balls are, like, not that important at the end of the day. I mean, he does have a worse civ, for sure. But I mean, this is just straight up domination. Third TC for Hera. Again, like, this is basically autopilot. Applying pressure and expanding your eco with good eco upgrades. We're Civ? I mean, yeah, it's just very tough to defend early on, right? Goths love having the Dark Age. They have a bunch of Dark Age bonuses. 10% less efficient in eco. I mean, yeah, so far ahead in resources was Hera. Every time. Well, don't want to show that. That's the tier list for State of the Civs. OMG. Oh, Viper isn't streaming. Now Viper's running into bad koala. Oh. But T90 just started streaming, so I'm pretty screwed anyway. So we'll probably just cast a little bit today, so I can finish State of the Civs Part 3. T90 lost hope. Yeah, there's no hope for T90, man. Alright, so let's see how things currently shake up. Yo's back to mid-1700s. I think the cutoff is likely going to be around 1850, 1860. I do read YouTube comments. Is there ever? No. Never, ever. Yeah, Vinch honestly doesn't play that many games either. He doesn't have the ridiculous win streak that ACCM has, but 114 games is very low. And also the 78% win rate's insanely high. Chooses to live in Florida. That's true. A 30 win streak? He's ACCM, man. It's not like he's farming chumps either. He's kind of facing the entire field except Hera. DC against Lewis? Ah, rip. It's tax and weather, I think. That's usually why people move to Florida. Lewis? I mean, those are just different spellings of Lewis. It's pronounced the exact same. Alright, so Viper is going to be here in the Cyan as the Saracens to the east. And to the west in the red as the Sicilians, it will be Bad Koala. Louis. Indeed. Florida weather sucks, Midwestern cold for the win. I mean, I know I'm literally from the Midwest, and I'm in the Midwest right now, but, like, I don't know. I was taking Dash out this morning, and it was cold and snowy, and bleh. I like mild weather. Anyway, market coming in here from Viper. He's got an archery range to open things up with. Same with the bad koala. Saracens should just be a better civ than Sicilians, maybe? All day 1 degree. That's like, it's technically above freezing. Very technically. Anyway, Viper is making sure that he is fully walled. Because of the huge downside? Yeah, that feels pretty tricky. But I do know that streaming income is taxed at a very high rate. Especially if you make good money. Like, I mean, I don't pay that much in taxes because, you know, I don't make much money at all. But somebody who makes as much money as T90 is definitely would be taxed at a very high rate in a lot of states. I feel like there should be a way around that for him, though. Basically tax evasion. It's not really tax evasion. I still pay my taxes. Oh, look at this. Bad Cola using the discounted transport ships. Where does Florida make... Well, remember that Florida public works are awful. Because they don't have the... much, you know, income from tax revenue. So what they do make a lot of money from is tourism and rich people or people moving to Florida and spending money in Florida. And those other places spend taxes. But like I said, it's still not much. And like, again, Florida is famous for having absolutely awful public works and infrastructure. Like, Florida schools are famously very bad. Florida's a great state if you have money. Property taxes? Oh, really? Yep. Viper's here. I mean, this isn't anything fancy. It's just a starting scout and some units, but in comes the counterattack. Ooh, gets the poke in right there. No inspections? Yeah. I would not want to live in Florida. Well, I mean, that's a lot of quick walls, and Viper is up to the castle age, but this is certainly quite awkward for his economy. That said, he's still the one who has not lost a villager. He's still the one applying pressure. Crossbow and Bodkin are coming in. So really, I don't think he can be that unhappy with his current situation. Oh, come on. Yeah, Crossbow and Bodkin are in. And, I mean, poor Bad Koala, he's just stuck now in the feudal age. Great 1930s Germany? Oh, jeez. Hey, man, I didn't vote for Trump, and I live in a blue state. Hashtag not my fault, not my problem. Oh, man. Still my problem? That's true. I captured Maduro. Yes, I personally went out and abducted a foreign leader. More than one? Yeah, I mean, he kind of needed to for the investment. Even with the discounted transport ship, which is, again, a really cute move. It's just he wasn't fully walled. Because it's very hard to fully wall this map early on. President of Venezuela? Well, apparently Trump's Wikipedia page already says he's president of Venezuela, so I need to find another country to become president of. Anyone have a good one in mind? Yeah, I watched the Jon Stewart from either yesterday or the day before. It was very good. Greenland. Oh, I'm so ready to become the president of Greenland. Because of the country, yeah. The passage is open? Well, this is the more direct route into his base. Honduras. So he can get back to his country where he'll pay you back? Oh, very good. Yes, the one that Fulder made. Freaking Fodler, man. This is bad koala. I'm afraid if you get into an argument with Nightbot Belgawiz, you'll probably lose. Nightbot doesn't care about your feelings. Nightbot has no feelings. Yeah, it is hashtag. Because it uses the spectator dashboard as opposed to Streamlabs. Anyway, like, Bad Koala is not loving life. He's on 1 TC to 3. He's getting archered. And there really is no upside to his position. Hmm. 1990s popular? Because there was a little while where he was like the only native English caster. And he really capitalized on it and made some very good sort of viral AoE content. So it's basically a combination of him being in the right place at the right time and then finding a piece of content or pieces of content that worked really well with the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it takes to be good on Twitch. You have to be both competent and fortunate. But he's done a really good job of, like, building from success. And the thing is, like, T90 is the entry point alongside, of course, Spirit of the Law and maybe Hera for people into AoE. Into AoE. The effort? Yep. For sure. Ballistics is in, but again, like, Bad Koala's not going anywhere in this game. It's 66 to 47 villagers already. Siege Tower ban? Yeah. Is your Empires? Was for a lot of people. My entry point to AoE, like, content, was Mr. Danish. I remember because I was a kid and I had no idea how the scenario editor worked, and he had videos about how the scenario editor worked. And I'm like, oh man, people actually make content for Age of Empires? I thought that no one played the game because none of my friends played the game because they all played, you know, Nintendo and Xbox and stuff. Hey, Boom. Pirated copy. I mean, like, my entry point to the game was just my dad having it and playing it. Can you not go back to get treasures? I don't know, actually. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I need to go back and get the achievement for holding all the landing zones. 15 years? No, his Danish is long gone. Yeah, he had cancer. He's alive. Yeah. He went through his treatment and did AoE content. So the entire map? Yeah, it's kind of an annoying one. It's 4 TCs to 2. Viper has lost 7 villagers, but he's killed 11. And he's ahead by a lot in resources, and he still has a perfectly fine army. Was the Boobly era a Skirmfest? No, not really. I mean, in the early days it was, but generally speaking, it was more about archers and cav archers and knights. I mean, like skirms were used, of course, but the meta generally revolved around archers, cav archers. Well, cav archers were only for hunts. Archers, knights. Gothic. This is the St. Albert's Hall, where the venue where RedBull's gonna be at. Well, to be fair, this is a bit of a doubt castle for Viper. Let's be honest, guys. This is not very pretty for Viper. He'll still almost certainly win the game, but this is not... This is not pretty. When stuff was broken? Again, my understanding is that for some reason it's really hard for them to patch AoE. I don't know why. I don't know if this is a Forgotten Empires problem or a World's Edge problem or what. But it is way too freaking hard for them to patch AoE to, and I don't know why. Because I know there's stuff that, like, oh yeah, we've been wanting to put this in the game for like months, but we haven't been able to patch it. And there's like a lot of stuff that gets like that. This was Viper like stepping on a rake and then slipping on a banana peel for no reason. Code? I don't think so. I think it's literally just pushing out a patch. Okay, Viper is still very probably going to win the game, guys. Don't you worry. But yeah, this... He castles the castle. Still, you're just making archers and skirms as Sicilians. Everything down? I don't know. That could be it. Nine on food. Yeah, I mean, again, it's like he's not really playing to any good units with Sicilians. He's not making knights or sergeants or donjons. Those sorts of things. Oh yeah, Sicilian arbs are the best arbs. They take less bonus damage. And yeah, that game was won by Viper. Was it won very prettily from Viper? Should he have won by a larger margin? Yes, but you know what? He won the game. P5? Well, he couldn't play as P4. Ooh, Barl's Dark should be good. Alrighty, so here we are, back on Karsts. I find it funny how much people are playing like Karsts and Acclivity. They're just playing the old maps as opposed to the new ones for RedBull. Like crossbows? Yeah, but monks have always countered knights. That's like always been a thing. I think it's so that people are really good at microing archers now. Back in ye old Voobly times, like, people could micro, but the lag and, of course, just the lower overall skill level of players back then was just, a bit rough. Yeah, the Hydaspes achievement isn't hard. It's just I literally forgot one of the sites. It's exclamation mark ladder. Oh, Barles is playing 1 TC with humans. That's very sad. That's, like, aggressively sad. He only made 1 range as well. Yeah. And queen? I'm a queen? I don't think I'm a queen. Net 34 points? That sounds like me. Guys, I don't think you're going to win a game as humans without using Civ bonuses at all. Because that's the thing with Persians, right? Their TC bonus, unconditional. No damage? Yeah, certainly. Alright, there is an extra TC coming in, but again, you're basically playing a generic Civ right now as Barles. Hello, mighty goat stroker, 34. Bosa, Horse Collar both coming in here for Dark. The Mangonel's coming in. It's still all archers, man. Empire War Civs, they're pretty bad. It's almost like they need some major changes to feel like a good AoE Civ. Yep. Well, to be fair, they'd be perfectly fine in Empire Wars on maps where you could do TC Boom. It's just those don't exist in this tournament. I mean, like, it's like I talked about in State of the Civs. There are things you can do with humans. It's just, generally speaking, there are better things to do. Are good. The thing is, they're actually not aggro enough for that to be a thing unless you're playing something like a boob. Yep. Well, it's just random. No one would pick humans. Yeah, Rampart, you might be able to make the bunch of ranges thing work. Vulpine rush distance is still a little bit longer. I kind of like the idea of maybe at least giving them the old college try on Rampart. But yeah, Vulpine is hard to defend early on, which doesn't necessarily mean it's super aggressive. If that makes sense. I mean, to be fair, guys, Barles is literally playing a generic Civ right now. He is using 0 Civ bonuses. And he's defending. I mean, Karst is a very good defensive map. I mean, technically he's using the extra HP for his Palisade walls, but yeah, that's about it. Handcart coming in too. Well, versus that, I mean, it's a very scary army. It's literally 26-2 army. It's just Barles has a ton of garbage in the way. Yeah, humans just, they need a lot of work. Castle coming in. Not, I mean, it's 7 villagers. It's not that many. Versus 1, because he's had a ton of idle time. Like, Dark's income is basically perfectly efficient. And he's only down, 600 resources. It's not like it's that bad. Oh, I love the Cuban castle, though. Like, it's got the dome of sort of like that Central Asian vibe. It's got the stonework of like a, Eastern European vibe, and it's got the wooden fort aspect on top, like the Slavic vibe. And of course, sort of that nomadic tradition. It's like you take over another fort and then build on top of it. The golf ball. Yes. Anyway, Imp is on the way here. It's not like you really... I mean, it's like... What does Imp give you? I mean, eventually chemistry and bombard cannons, but in the short run, I don't think it gives you anything. And why does every Civ, like... It's just the same units, man? I will say, like, it feels like back in the day... There was, like, a meta with a given Civ, and, like, the Civ basically did the same thing in most situations, but we didn't have, like, okay, every Civ is a Cav Archer Civ and a Crossbowman Civ, or a Light Cav Archer Civ. You know what I mean? Like, all this does is make Civ wins feel like, or make Civ matchups feel more like Civ wins, because it's just about who can execute the meta. And you're transitioning to Cav Archers? Oh my god. Anyway, now there's such a villager advantage for Barles that even with the extra inefficiency, he's still going to be able to power ahead in terms of resources. But yeah, obviously none of these units scale very well. Wait, is he not? He's not even getting chemistry. Literally, Imperial Age is giving him nothing. .65 accuracy? I mean, I don't... I mean, is it really such a huge problem for Civs that have HCA but no thumb ring? I mean, it's what? Georgians, Khmer... Georgians? Hello, mini Wolskis. Okay, yeah, there's chemistry. I'd rather see CA get their cost bumped back up to 70 gold. Like ye old days, and then you can just boost the Hun bonus back up a little bit more as well. Give Huns like a tiny buff. Gimmicks are the issue? I mean, I do think gimmicks are an issue. I think that some civs only... It depends on the gimmick, right? Like, Jian Swordsman, and that just being, like, the one thing that Wu do is annoying. But then you could be like, Ornlu. Spanish only do conks, basically. And I would say, yeah, I mean, that's fair, but... One, conks are a very unique unit. And two, they transition into other things. Sounds bias? Absolutely. I've got AOC bias. I don't care. Everybody has a bias to some degree. And many people do hate conks, for sure. Lancer Siege Tower. To be fair, no more Siege Towers in this qualifier. Anyway, Barles is at least doing what his Civ does well. And going into Paladins. I mean, you could justify Step Lancers as well, but you're on 127 bills. You haven't really made much military. Just go frickin' Paladins, man. For TTL? I sure did. And I think it's really bizarre. They have to make these, like... Again, why are the devs literally incapable of updating their game? It's just so strange to me. Because those are changes that can be done via a hotfix. Like, it's one thing that you have larger changes that require, you know, different language work done, you know, in all the different languages the game comes in, or like, more complex mechanics changes. But HP and garrison space is literally just a numbers fix. Anyway, fully upgraded human paladins are very, very good. Remember, they are now faster than cav archers. Yeah, Dark's like, I'm not facing paladins here. That was a weird freaking game. Barles literally played as a generic Civ. There is nothing that Barles did that utilized a Civ bonus, except technically his paladins being faster at the very end, but even, you know, paladins with no husbandry whatsoever would still win that game, so it's like, you literally just played a generic Civ. Like Shrivamsha Riders? Yeah. Barl's so good, he doesn't need to use his Civ. Every time I will go to the wrong scene there. Looks like Yo versus Hart is just about to start. Good. And I'm trying to, like, when I'm doing State of the Civs, I really feel like I try to give some credit to the new Civs where I can. My main scene? Ow. I feel like it would be very hard to read if I just scrunched it down. And I want to make it visible for people. Get rid of chat? I wish, man. All the gimmicks there, yeah. That tweak? But Genoese crossbowmen and cataphracts do something different than what the generic version does. Five yellow, well, I beat Bad Koala. Bad Koala. Alright, so, Yo could be the red as the Spanish here to the southwest of Rampart. Why do I always see Spanish on this map? It's so weird. And to the northeast in the blue as the Burgundians, it will be Hart. Vala? Oh, he must have played another game against somebody much lower ranked. Picking Spanish? I don't think Yo picked Spanish, though. Oh, never mind. Both players force picked. Nostalgia? Yeah, I mean... some mechanics work out better than others when it comes to the new stuff that's added. I like Grenadiers a lot. I think those are really cool. I think rocket carts are fine. I think fire lancers are fine if they have some stat tweaks. You think 2P would be good on this map? I don't think so, Trirem. I think that their, you know, Blackwood archers just don't really have the oomph they need. Yep. A bar up Hemo Warrior? I mean, would a slow infantry with area attack really be what you want if you can quick wall? The Panama Warriors? Yes, it's Apple's new product in Panama. Poison damage? I mean, that's like the obvious one, right? With Redacted, they'd be strong. Get poison damage? I mean, 2P have to be getting some sort of poison damage. Like, that's what people know them for. Is using the poison dart frog. And isn't that literally where the poison dart frog gets its name? Because their poison was used for darts. Changing their bonus. But I just wanna play the boomer civ, man. I feel like Mapuche are probably gonna be pretty aggressive. I'm curious though as to Muisca and 2P though. I mean, 2P definitely aren't going to be getting stone walls. They had like the special looking palisades. So I wonder if Muisca are going to be the sit on your button boom civ. Trinity? Oh, I noticed. Oh, I noticed. Muisca get SO? Oh, do they? I didn't see. Dismounted Mangudai? A dismounted Mangudai is just an archer. Do the text. I know, I do too, man. Super oppressive. I know a lot of people are worried about the new gimmicks, and I am too. But I also don't want to pass judgment until I actually see how the stuff works. Like I think I talked about this in State of the Civs. I was very worried about the reflect damage from lamellar armor. I was worried about the bleed damage from the Liao Dao. I was worried about the slow damage from the white feather guard, and all of those turned out to be like totally fine. I was worried about traction trebs and heroes, and those definitely did not turn out to be fine. But you know, I think that we can't just pass judgment based on what something looks like before we even know the difference. Anyway, Arson is coming in. Yo does have his first castle down, but no conquistadors even on the way as the food income is quite rough at the moment. For now, yeah. Up. My check is on the way. Yeah. For hitting you? I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Wait, monastery and university? For a second I thought he was going fast imp. Made 3 horses? What? Oh, heroes. This game needs a hero, yeah. Well, you can build a hero, hero dies, build the hero again, hero dies, and then build the hero again. Greenland? I hope not. Anyway, Heart's eco is just so far ahead at this point. Eco upgrades are so much better. Yo's only at 5 conks, and it just feels like he's never really been able to get off the ground here. I don't think it's that hard to fix Ketons. I still think that the Keton issues are still in the realm of number tweaks. Mostly. They need a lot of number tweaks, but I think that it's not that big of a deal. Another check? I mean, why isn't FE paying me to be their shill, man? OP? I don't think Ketons are that OP outside the eco. Who's cashing them? Uh-oh. Skirm bonus? I think that you might need to, like, literally tuning it down by like 5% might even be enough. Yeah, like, and again, I talk about this in State of the Civs. I spend like 5 minutes on Jurchens and Ketons in the State of the Civs tomorrow. I like the identity of Ketons and like, okay, they're sort of part step civ, part sort of settled, you know, Sinitic civ, shall we say. But they feel very different than Bulgarians because Ketons mostly make use of like light units and like a good eco and fast train time and all that. Whereas like Bulgarians, you are infantry and cavalry, but they use like much heavier units. They're a skirm civ? Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I mean like, but still, boom. It seems to be in the realm of a numbers tweak. And I do think that the Liao Dao is important for the Ketons, not because they need it every game, but because it gives them a slow push option, or like a big fight late game option. And that's still kind of the design of Ketons, right? Is that they're They're not the full-blown step civ like Mongols or Cumans or whatever. But yeah, it absolutely needs some tweaking. Anyway, Mangonel coming in. Yo is about ready for castle number 2. But we're going to have redemption here in just a moment as well. And actually 14 Vills on stone. Art is not taking this lightly. He also has 3 relics as Burgundians, which is very helpful.
See.
See? Yeah, this is going to be very tough for Yo to push. Big unit spam. That's kind of what they are. Kinda. They doesn't know about anything here on the side. Not that this is like the easiest thing to push, although it would be pushing downhill, but what Yo wants is a castle over here. Baluarte? Is that just rampart in Spanish? Okay, this is what Yo's looking for. But, oh no. Oh no. It just coming down to redemption, guys. Now Yo has to build the castle over there. Hart's getting the castle up over there. Yeah, this is looking awful for Yo. Why do Burgundians get redemption? Because they're a redeemable civ. Multiple ways to play. Yeah, like you can go skirmishers or you can go for skirmishers. It's really fun. No, like the game's balance is not that bad. Ooh. It's fairly good. Anyway, this castle's coming up, but it's nowhere... the castle wanted to be over here. Just now, some more eco upgrades coming in. You already have them in for Hart. Of course, actually leaning into the Burgundian eco upgrades, which is always good to see. Another castle coming up is going to defend another large swath of Hart's eco, and I just think it's going to be nigh impossible to actually push our blue player at this point, as he is now on his way up to the Imperial Age. When was the game balance at its best? Usually, game balance is at its best right before a DLC or big patch drops to shake up the meta. So, probably, like, Rise of the Rajas or right before Lords of the West. Because then power creep was also a lot lower. Like, they had buffed the civs after AOC. Because as much as I love AOC, the balance was not very good. I mean, Yo clicks up too, but obviously he's just very far behind.
See.
Those are the balance issues? Well, I mean, the pre-DE civs generally have had more time to get balanced, right? The older civs get the benefit of both having more design space to work with, so it's easier to make them feel like an AoE 2 civ, and they have had more time to be, you know, iterated. Anyway, Cavalier plus Skirmisher should be fine. Bohemians and Poles both were and are kind of broken. Yeah, Release Humans was the second most overpowered civ of all time. After Teuton Death Stars. But remember, guys, beta humans were even better. Beta humans could build as many TCs as they wanted in the feudal age. Beta humans had fortified walls. And not just palisades. Although I think they still had the palisade bonus. Beta Lithuanians had the trash units that didn't cost wood. So halbs and skirms that didn't cost wood. Is that? Well, I don't know why they said lots of people would be streaming. If people are tryharding, they're not streaming. Well, I mean, no one plays Burmese because they are power crept. If people play Burmese, they do play Arambai. They're still very good. Yeah. You just can't match the eco. They're not gimmicky enough? No, Harambai are fine. I don't even think Burmese need anything. Oh, Yo being toxic and not GGing. We all know how toxic Yo is. He totally didn't just GG after he resigned. Make all civs OP? No, that, like, reinforces power creep. To undo power creep, you need to nerf, the top-performing civs. Poison damage? Oh, gee. Alright, I'm gonna get some more coffee, guys. Viper and Burls aren't playing. At the moment. All right. Oh boy, what a matchup. What a matchup. OG Franks versus OP Franks, yep. Try again in about 34 seconds. A pick command? It's a dashboard command, and it's just you need to wait for the game to start. All right, guys. Back on karsts. Franks will be here in the red. Or Barls, red Franks to the west, and to the east in the blue. As the Ketons, it will be Viper. Huns with guns, something like that. Oh, the starting farms for Franks do get the horse collar upgrade. Feels good, man. That said, you also are going to want double bit axe. There you go. Viper getting it a little bit faster. Keton farms, obviously the best farms in AoE. Viper already walling with, what, 4 villagers very early on. Meanwhile, just some archers here for Barls. Fast training scouts for Viper. Yes, I do think Ketons are the better civ. It was a joke. Ketons can't make farms, they make pastures. Domestication. Yep, quick balls are in there for Barls. What did they change for Ketons? They made pastures take longer to build, but give more food and were also more expensive. Those were the changes to Ketons. Oh no! Viper Scouts got in. Oh geez. Now I have to go for even more quick walls, and that's just ugly. And Viper's still just going to be able to run around over here. Oh, and he's having to actually build all those houses too. Oh, that's so ugly here for Barls. Significantly. They slowed them down a little bit early on, for sure. But not that much. I still think they are way too good on open maps. But pastures are like... Any sort of big eco bonus like this is just going to need a lot of tinkering. Yeah, look at it. He actually built all of those houses. Barls still lost the villager that was over here. Not killed anything on the flippity flip. On graveyard. The yard of the grave. Anyway, Barls is looking much closer to Castle Age because, well, he's not really making any food units, nor is he getting fletching. But Viper is already starting to pull ahead in terms of resources. With the almighty Keton farms. Wants to open scouts? Yeah, you could say that. But Men at Arms rush openings are and scout openings are both so fast these days that they kind of both hit at the same time, so it's not as big a deal as it used to be. Alright, Castle Age is on the way here for Barls. No stone was sold. And he is actually finishing up that wall. As their main trade-off. I mean, that would be historically accurate, but I guess that's just not the direction they wanted to go. Forge Bush is about to finish being collected, but yeah, finishing all of those walls, man. Big wood investment early on. Remember, guys, Ketons do get camels. Tracking, always important to research tracking, especially of Slavs, man. Re-tracking was such a good bonus. So powerful. HCA and Castle Age? You could do that if you want, but Viper hasn't committed to anything at the moment. Camels scale better into Imperial Age than the Cav Archers do. Yeah, Viper is absolutely going to be going for a boom arena. Okay, no, there's the extra archery range. He's still going to go for a big old boom. I mean, remember that Viper's eco is more efficient as he was able to force a lot of this early idle time from Barrels, but still, that is Ketons, man. Oh, that's kind of a weird mining camp. Wouldn't you just build a TC right there? Oh, no, he actually had the defensive tower forced out. That is a win for Barrels. Viper a little bit concerned about having that slower uptime. Podcrosaw here for Barrels. Two extra TCs for Red as well. Honestly, I like this from Barrels. Getting skirm upgrades as well. I mean, he sees the ranges, but playing... I don't know, man. I feel like you'd rather just go Knight Scorpion as Franks than just going Skirmishers. At least you're working towards a good army. Also, is this TC, like, straight up awful? There are no resources on this side of the rocks. Second TC here for Viper. I think it was... Oh, did he just buy the stone? Okay, might have just bought the stone. There's the markup. Strongest army? Oh, yeah, that is my bad. I mean, look at what Viper's doing. He's making skirms. Mine? I guess I wonder what's... Oh, this was the stone mine. No, Viper doesn't have any attack upgrades. He's just going skirmishers. And that was a big old cleanup there for Viper. 12 kills to 3 deaths, and he's ahead in resources. Fourth TC, though, for us. Barrels seems to be going like 4 TCs every single game. He's really booming it up. He's going full boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Viper early handcart pastoralism as well. I mean, these guys are just taking the eco approach. Still, Viper's only on the 2 TCs. He is going to be switching over into CA at this point. No reproach for the boom approach? Not from me. Now here's the question. In late game, can Franks outmuscle Ketons? I think so. On a map with a ton of gold especially, throwing Axemen or Hand Cannoneers behind Paladins, I think that still works. My worry, though, is that Barrels is just going to be far behind in economy, but honestly, the 4 TCs instantly should ensure that he's at least relatively well off. Handcart versus not even wheelbarrow feels like it's a huge difference maker, though. And when I say it feels like it's a huge difference maker, it is. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, no Halbs is obviously huge. Paladin Halb, of course. Actually, I never really tested how good Ordo Cavalry camels are. I think, or maybe I did when I did the Ketons testing, but that was a while ago. It's just not something we see very often. Anyway, Rocket Cart is here. Rocket Carton. They're better than generic. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, the Keton unique unit is very good, but remember, it's also pretty expensive on the gold. What am I talking about? We're on Karsts. Gold cost doesn't matter. Anyway, tower here for Barles. Are we going to see the classic Barles guard tower play? Oh, you bet we are. He's just absorbed the power from the max. Okay, yep. Yepper. More CA coming in here for Viper. But again, my concern for him is that they just don't scale that well going, you know, throughout the game. Another tower coming in. And here comes a castle from Viper. Capsive. I'm pretty sure it says infantry and cavalry civilization in their description. Handcart coming in just now here for Barles. You can see he's almost caught up in terms of resources. You can see the power of pastures is not one to be taken lightly. And Viper himself is on 4 TCs. Man, guys, the Western European guard towers are literally the guard tower icon. So OP. Castle coming in here for Franks. Why don't they have the 25% discount in Castle Age anymore? The English castle too? Yeah, the castle icon is the, well, now just Britain's castle. It's called Aura. Ah, yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's basically just the, now just Britain's castle. This game, yeah, we don't do that smelly AoE 4 stuff here. Anyway, Barles is up a little bit faster. The issue for him is he's not getting towards any army, as despite going 4 TCs immediately versus 2, he still can't quite keep up with the Keton's eco. As a roof like that, it's a little bit different, but it's based off the exact same thing. They don't have the shingles on the roof, so you could see that this is probably from an earlier design of the castle. I mean, I don't think any of the building icons were any different. Just like the house is actually the Central European house in Castle Age. The mill is, I think, the Western European one. The mining camp is just obviously like its own icon. University is its own icon. Siege Workshop, again, its own icon. Eric's Blacksmith, yeah. Anyway, another castle coming in here from Viper. Windows XP. I mean, all of the buildings just have the Windows XP background. Going Liao. Viper hasn't really committed to anything at the moment. It looks like he might be going Fire Lancers. Of course, Ketons do have pretty good Fire Lancers. Make pastures 4x4. Oh, geez. I think that's what Viper's going for, at least. Barles is working towards the cavalry. I mean, if they didn't have fire lancers, they'd just be awful against cavalry. Still, Barles is going to need some time to get there. Also, what a noob not getting masonry earlier to slow down the rocket cart. Aren't they 4x4? No, they're... Oh, wait, yes, they are 4x4. What am I talking about? Yes, yes, yes. And anyway, Viper is indeed going for Fire Lancers. Remember that Ketons are the closest ones to generic Fire Lancers. Generic, fully upgraded Fire Lancers, except they get lamellar armor to deal a bit of reflect damage. Or porcupine damage, as I like to call it. Champions? There's nothing wrong with Keton champions. Again, fully upgraded, but also, again, getting lamellar armor, which is all infantry and skirmishers. Siege engineers coming in, some mounted trebs as well. Mounted trebs are quite good in treb wars. I really like mounted trebs. Like, I think it's a really cool design. I mean, on top of it literally being a treb between two camels, which is inherently awesome. I think they probably need a little bit more of a buff, but having a bombard cannon replacement that's like more specifically anti-personnel, personnel rather, is totally fine. Anyway, Paladin's coming in. Look at him go! Splat. Lol, Lamau armor. Attack upgrades, DPS increase, yeah. Well, both players lose their trebuchets, so both castles will stand for now. Also, can you take a moment to appreciate that Ketons and Jurchens both have like two of the best castles in the game? This looks freaking awesome. Anyway, there's Paladin. You got Frank Paladins, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, Fire Lancers, it's what? 15 bonus damage against Cav, so that's not even as much as a pikeman. Although, of course, they have the faster attack speed. And more HP and melee armor. Actually, how much of a difference is it? Fire Lancers versus Halbs? Is stolen? Well, the Ketons themselves did attack the Tonguts a lot. So, yeah, that's fine. It's not like the Ketons were super huge on, like, giant stone monuments and defenses. Anyway, 43 Fire Lancers. I don't think Viper ever got lamellar armor, though. No, he did not. Traction trebs? Yes, they're very different units. The mounted trebuchets are pretty much strictly anti-unit. So I would say they're a bit better than bombard cannons against units, but worse, much, much worse against buildings. Yes, the pastures are big old blocks. Anyway, Barles needs to get something that is good against Fire Lancers. And by something, I mean very explicitly hand cannoneers. You could go throwing axemen as well, but with the high melee armor of Fire Lancers and the high HP, it feels like it would probably be just much better to go for the the hand cannoneers. Blast furnace coming in, but still, you know, you need to get something, a little something, something. Shock though? Oh yeah, I keep on forgetting about the shock infantry. Yeah, Trirum, I wanted to ask you, when you see pro players complain about Fire Lancers being uncounterable, and then you never see anyone ever go infantry versus them, how does that make you feel as a developer? When nobody ever goes for their hard counter. Anyway, mounted trebs coming back in. Still only 25 paladins, though, to 60 Fire Lancers. And Barles is getting over here to the southeast. You gotta be careful. You don't want to be doing that, though. Around a longsword's buff, yeah. Well, I think champions are in a really good spot. Men-at-Arm rushing is fine. I actually think the biggest issue are late Feudal Age Men-at-Arms being super bad. I think that if you could power spike with Swordsmen in Castle Age in the same way that you can with Archers and Skirmishers, it would be much, much, much better. But Men-at-Arms is just such an awful Feudal Age unit. Anyway, I believe it's 2 bonus damage versus, oh, it's actually only 1 bonus damage. Most infantry unique units have 2 bonus damage versus Eagles. Or shock infantry. Anyway, Viper's getting a lot of ill kills at this point. Big Paladin counter. Where's the big Paladin? Oh, here it is. But yeah, this is really just a case of there not being enough stuff here that counters Fire Lancers. Dude, I think you're right. Need to be in Castle? Yeah, but you could make the same argument for crossbowmen and elite skirmishers as well. Like, it's the issue is that you're just not getting to. Wow, it's actually, you know, fair bit more food and gold, but Viper's still way ahead in resources overall. He also got 5 relics. Yeah, I mean, Barl's just ran paladins into Fire Lancers. Not the best idea, and he never was completely able to get rid of these castles. 21,000 damage taken by that one. Versus Halb? Oh, no, Fire Lancers are going to crush Halbs. My question was, how much better are Halbs specifically versus Cav? I want to test that. Yeah, it was an HC kind of. I mean, yeah, you still want hand cannons, right? What counters Fire Lancers? Longswordsmen and ranged units. All right. All right, so Fire Lancers are what? 40 wood, 45 gold, so 95 resources versus 55. All right, so this is what? 28? So like 16 or so Fire Lancers. Or 24. Yeah, 24, so like 14 Fire Lancers, I think. Like a little bit more than half. Oh, I need a third player. And we'll just give them Spanish Paladins. Player 2 is the Ketons player. Because I just... Ketons are the closest thing to, you know, the generic Fire Lancers. And here we can be Britons, because why not? All right. Like at 10 Paladins. So a good amount of Paladins versus this number of units. Oh yeah, that is 12, my bad. Boop, 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 boop. It's 17 to 12? That was pretty close. So it's pretty similar. Okay, let's just add the 12 paladins then. Lancer civs have helm. That is not correct. Ketons do not. Yeah, the halbs are still going to kill the paladins faster. Enough paladins to win might give the best results, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, but there is no save with generic Fire Lancers in that sense. Or, well, yeah, I mean, because halbs are much cheaper than Fire Lancers. I did turn AO behavior off. Yeah, so you can see here that halbs are still tool stacking. No! You can see the difference, though, in that the halbs are still the much harder counter. I kind of want to see, though... Yeah, we can see the Liao Dao. Also, I deleted the paladins for literally no reason. Oh yeah, I also need a unit to not get defeated. I mean, the Liao Dao aren't going to be as good as the Fire Lancers, right? Yeah, I mean, Paladins are still going to clean them up. Although, it's not like it's a disaster or anything. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Ooh, MBL gaining 17 points from Lewis. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Heart's at 1810. Hera's still 100 elo above everyone else. It's wild. I don't think anyone else would be able to get that high to 1900. Oh, I thought they had started already. All right. So, Vietnamese mirror. Vietnamir. Lavio in the red is the Vietnamese to the west, and Lewis in the blue as the Vietnamese to the east. Yeah, here we go. Still think Vietnamese are one of the best civs in the game. And they're still going to be just as good in Empire Wars as they are in RM. Also, this Royal Albert Hall is way closer to Yo. Oh my god, such an imbalanced map. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we have South Vietnam versus North Vietnam here. In any era. I mean, every Civ mirror matchup is a historically accurate matchup. I don't think there is any Civ matchup that's a mirror that is not historically accurate. Will the Americans join in? Same time the Soviets do. Anyway, it is an Archer opening here for Yo. It's his Archer opening here for Lewis. Both got both eco upgrades. Of course, you always want to squeeze those out as Vietnamese as much as possible. Chinese will join? Not really, no. Remember that China and Vietnam don't like each other very much. Yes, China joined in Korea. They did not join in Vietnam. China has historically had a much better relationship with Korea than it has had with Vietnam. But with the whole China never really invading and occupying Korea thing. They sure did, for sure. Real Civs to begin with? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, remember that China invaded Vietnam, like, just after, you know, the end of the American-Vietnam War, which itself started right after the end of the Indochina War, which was France versus their Indochina colonies. Indianized? That's true. Was after World War II, which involved the Japanese versus those people. Yeah, the you know, 20th century was not so fun in Southeast Asia. Worth it? It does not. Yeah, Yo clicks up to Castle Age. Lewis still stuck in Feudal Age. He's making skirmishers from 2 ranges. Now, this does provide rather a bit of an opportunity for him to go on the offensive, and he knows Yo is not fully walled here. In most parts of the world, I don't know, man. It was going fine in Iceland. It was a party over there. In Greenland, yeah, it was really the 21st century that was the disaster. Didn't they get occupied? I don't think so. I mean, I know they had some scuffles with the British over fishing rights. But I don't think they were in World War II at all. In Aruba? Ah, yes. Oh my goodness, to have a corgi. All right. Corgi is corging all over the place. All right, looks like Yo is going to sneak on in here with the T-port. The T-posing T-port. World War for nothing? That is true. I mean, although I'm sure there were like... What place was the least affected by World War II? That would like, most people wouldn't even know that there was a World War going on. And I don't think there is anywhere. Like, even the tiny... Oh yeah, the Sentinel Islands, yes. Probably just them. Madagascar? Yeah, there really wasn't much of a theater in the Indian Ocean. South America was busy supplying food to the Allies. They were definitely the least involved of the, you know, continents in World War II. But yes, they were, you know, even regular people would still be very well aware that there was a World War going on. And, well, yeah, that's the Eastern Indian Ocean. Excuse me. Least involved, that's true. Anyway, Skirmisher's get a couple of vill kills over here. Yo, finally coming in over here. He actually gets 4 villager kills and is going to force a bit of an exodus here from the villagers. Second TC coming in now here for red. And no elite Skirmisher in just yet. And there are a couple knights here. Yeah, I mean, Yo's not walled over here, guys. Lewis is. Taking back Greenland. Yes, saying that we need Greenland for security purposes when we're literally in a binding military agreement with them in the first place is, pretty funny. Iran was still busy dealing with the British, right? Turkey was obviously very well aware that there was a World War going on, but obviously it was one of the big diplomatic achievements for Turkey, or I mean for any country really, was being able to stay out of World War II. Active conflict? Yeah. To Epstein Island. No, it's now St. Epstein Island. Trump is going to be able to canonize his friends. This time. Green Lantern? It's where Green Lantern is from. Exactly the case. Anyway, 2 more TCs being added in. One at the north and one at the south here for Yo, but he's still got a bunch of dudes in his base. You don't? Well, Denmark appreciated the fact that the U.S. at least had, was using that base to counteract any Soviet expansion in the Arctic. So it's not like Denmark didn't get anything out of it, but I'm sure they would rather the Americans not be there than there, but it wasn't, I think, that big of a deal. And it's not like the Danish government can say, wow, occupying Greenland? That's so wrong. What kind of country would be so horrible as to occupy Greenland? Anyway, another villager kill there. But, I mean, Lewis has the Vill lead. Yo is obviously going to struggle heavily to actually sustain Vill production here with, actually got 26 Vills on food now. But I guess that's only going to start to kick back up. In Manchuria? Well, I mean, it's also the civil war going on in China as well. I mean, China has a huge number of people, was actively fighting the Japanese, and also actively fighting itself, so you get to double count all those, all of those casualties. But I think the Pacific Theater is known a bit better in the U.S. than it is in Europe, just because the U.S. was part of it. They're going to defend it? Well, there was the other, like, NATO countries or something saying that if the U.S. tries to occupy Greenland, they will expel the U.S. military forces from all the military bases we have across Europe. Which, again, like, we're freaking allies! This is so stupid! Again, we literally are in a binding military agreement. Oh no, not the T-port! Rip. Now, I know I like to throw the S word around a lot, but, you know. Techno-fascist country. Allies. I mean, you might not see us as allies, but we're literally legally binding allies. Greenland's not states? Oh, I think maybe it's the anti-Ryan Reynolds alliance. Don't want it anymore? Yeah, seriously. UAE, Pakistan, yeah. Country on Earth? Well, that actually just is going to come down to all the other countries. I mean, America's usually been able to do whatever the heck it wants because, you know, no one says no to us. And I think that... I honestly feel like the calculus for a lot of these countries is just to, you know, try and make as few waves as possible until Trump is out of office. But, I mean, things are just happening at a pretty alarming rate. I mean, we're literally only 1/4 of the way through his second term. Like, oh, there is no plan. I was watching Jon Stewart last night, and it's crazy how our, I don't even know what the heck it is in Venezuela, is literally, like, Trump just constantly bringing it back to oil. It's like, oh yeah, you know, we gotta free them from a dictatorship, like one of his, like, aides will say. And then Trump's like, yeah, we want the oil. We need sure to let all the oil companies know what's going on. It's, funny and depressing. Not the bunker! Anyway, despite being on only 2 TCs to 4, I mean, Lewis just is taking good fights. Yo has not been able to keep up in skirmisher numbers. Loses control of Congress? Yep, I would say so. I mean, Congress generally has stripped its own power away significantly, which feels really weird, but that's definitely what's happened. But even so, having the opposition party in power would at least, in theory, check Trump a little bit more. The issue is that the Democratic leadership is, like, some of the most incompetent people in the entire country, so who knows? Your salary paid in dollars? Oh, jeez. Don't give him ideas. Oh. Anything bad? Exactly. Release I have no idea. The good name of Chuck Schumer? Yes. Chuck will write a strongly worded letter, Schumer. All right, Imp Skirm coming in. Win. You forget the part where he booms. I mean, yeah, Yo's just pretty dead. way too far behind in resources, and it's really just the eco inefficiency, which is from the pressure, right? It's not like Yo was really screwing up. It's that Yo tried to spread himself too thin, and he tried to make archers instead of skirmishers. And that's really a major mistake. I mean, to be fair, even in any other metagame, a Vietnamese mirror is still probably going to end up in Skirm v Skirm. I mean, to be fair, of all the times to get upset about Skirm v Skirm, like, this isn't it. Trap rotation, baby. Take those turnips and turn them. Oh, yeah, Fire Lancers. Yeah, we don't really see many Fire Lancers on the field. Is Yo gonna go for the Muma kill? Are they gonna be ready for battle? Die to skirms? Well, I mean, every unit dies to skirms. But yeah, especially imp skirms are gonna be doing fairly well against them because they have one more attack than regular skirmishers do. I mean, it says it's a 5% eco difference, but Lewis was just so far ahead. That push at the front of Yo's base. Yo, I mean, the thing was, like, Yo wasn't really that able to keep Lewis out when he went for his own counterattack. Well, my preferred Civ bonus would be a Civ whose infantry and cavalry are affected by ballistics. I think that would be a really fun one. All right, I think I'll do one more game. Yeah. Then I need to finish State of the Civs Part 2. There's 35 HP Knights, oh geez. No, Sanctity needs to be back to 50% so that the Knights actually get 170 HP. Metzel with the 88 months, thank you so much. Woo. Woo. Alright. Kato, Blue Inca's here to the west for our last game of the day, and Yo in the red as the humans to the east. And he actually is going for the second TC. Alright. I still think humans are pretty bad at Empire Wars, but at least Yo is going for it. Do. All right, DBA on its way for Yo. It's already in here for Tato. Eagle out over here, some long-distance hair collection. 5-game losing streak. He's a pretty streaky player here on Empire Wars. Stable coming in. And Tato already selling his stone, so, I mean, he knows what he needs to do. He sees the second TC up. The last game, Lewis did. Oh, Tato, oh, he went double barracks. Interesting. I mean, to be fair, I don't really see what double barracks is going to do here. Speak their languages? I would have to imagine so, because I think a lot of people would be very offended if they spoke Spanish and Portuguese. I mean, don't all three of those people groups still exist today? They spoke Chinese. They spoke Chinese and Mongolian, just to keep with the tradition. No freaking new architecture sets for Free Kingdom civs. No new voice lines at all. Right, market coming in. No campaign levels. Yeah, I had to record Genghis Khan campaign background footage for State of the Civs because there are no campaign levels for Khitans and Jurchens. But I think I do something similar with Romans. I think I record AoE1 Romans campaigns. Hello, Mr. Yes. Anyway, I mean, it's going to be a humans game. Tato's going to be faster up to Castle Age. Obviously, already a big Vil advantage. Forward barracks from Tata. I mean, it's humans, man. The Karakitai. J. All right. I mean, we're looking at what? 2-minute difference, a little bit less to Castle Age. There's a siege workshop coming in. Will it be good or a disappointment? Well, I mean, that's kind of the question. I don't know. All right, Eagle Warrior upgrades coming in. Probably Pikemen as well. I think Tato should be pretty well aware that Yo is not collecting any stone at the moment. I can click, which I cannot. No stone is being collected there. We're going to be on 3 stables, so... No, I literally just do the speedrun strat and just attack them right away. Yeah, there's Pikeman coming in, Rams as well. I mean, this is a good play from Tato here. Res collected are still very even. It's only an 8 villager advantage right now here for Yo, although I guess he has wheelbarrow as well. But the issue for Yo is that he's got too many villagers on wood, which is because he can't farm. It's not because Yo's a noob or anything. I mean, obviously he is, but, you know. You know. Steppies are on the way, but it's going to take a lot of steppies here, as there are all so many infantry units on the field here for Tato. Oh, wait, that's so nice. Thanks, Romful.
Supporting Ornlu, financially and morally, you are amazing, and I am glad you are you.
Oh, so nice. And it doesn't matter. I mean, Tato's slightly ahead of wood collected, but it's more that Yo wishes he had even more of a food collected lead. All right, Mangonel here defensively as well. It's still just Pikemen. This sure is a humans game, guys. Of course, you have that speed advantage. Oh, but you have to be very, very careful. Oh, that was maybe a bit of a bloopsy there from Yo, trying to go for the counterattack, but leaving his Mangonel exposed. Well, that's because the very nice is literally from Borat. I'm literally quoting Borat voice. A cat. It's a wolf! It's a beautiful MS Paint wolf. Anyway, I think Yo might be dead. I think, as the kids say, Yo die. Lots of pikemen here already. Poke, 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 poke. I think he just could not lose the Mangonel like that. Settlements. Yeah, it's really weird doing the Inca state of the civs, because it's like, well, I mean, the civ's getting changed in like a month anyway. Anyway, those are good hits. And Yo still has a TC at the very least, although now his eco being idle, like he's only barely ahead in resources. The villager numbers are very similar as well. Oh, did Yo lose all of the Step Lancers over here? Oh, jeez. 160 housing space. Yeah, I still think Yo's pretty dead. More reinforcements. Where are those blasted reinforcements? Oh, I don't know about this, Yo. I don't know about that. Oh, jeez. What? How did none of those units attack? Pointless validation. I mean, that's mostly for you. Oh, boy. I freaking love humans, guys. Games are so fun. They totally don't all look like some version of this. So I actually think Yo had a very good chance to defend if he had kept his Step Lancers back home and defended the Mangonel. I mean, I get the allure of going for the counterattack, but much like the Song of the Sirens, it was all a trap. And, you know, Tato just walked forward with his eagles and killed the Mangonel, and then there was nothing to stop the battering ram from destroying the TC. Well, the issue is the food income. Like I keep saying, it's that Yo hasn't been able to farm anywhere near as much as he's needed to. He's only 600 food collected ahead when he really should be way more than that ahead. Nah, Mangonel's not doing anything. Well, yeah, I mean, look at the score, though. Tato is way ahead in resources destroyed. Now, he does need to get some more siege out, to be fair. And Yo has reclaimed his farms. Like, it's rare that a farm TC is actually good, but this is one of those cases. Where does Tato go from here? I mean, he's gonna just restart the push. He could add extra TCs. He could have added extra TCs himself if he wanted to, but he's obviously not going with that route. It still has no stone income. You can see Yo is still slightly ahead in resources collected. Tato just never got the eco upgrades. And Tato himself actually doesn't have the best eco balance. He has too many on wood as well. Okay, now he adds the second TC. Honestly, if Tato was going for this, it probably needed to be a little bit sooner. This gold's about to run out, though. Or not. I thought Incas were losing Eagle Warriors. I think there's going to be like a new Eagle Warrior variant for the South American civs. Ooh, that's not what you wanted as Yo. Slash is what you wanted as Tato. Okay, Mangonel still stands there. There's only a few vills in this TC, and it doesn't even have fletching, remember? Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it, yeah. Just comes in again. Yo's almost out of gold as well anyway. Tato was fine. Again, Yo could just never really recover that economy. And Tato just was able to take efficient fights. I mean, good on him to pull back when he did, just to regroup and then go for the kill. Still had that second TC as well. I don't think a Civ would have the Chompy and Eagles. That feels kind of odd. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for me today. Hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, gonna be finishing up State of the Civs, and I'll probably be back to more streaming stuff tomorrow. Bye-bye!